The answer I see in here is that there's so many things you can be doing. It's hard to say what's the best way to invest your marketing budget or what's going to give you the best return on your investment. You've got websites, SEO, Google pay-per-click, TikTok, Facebook ads, Instagram stories, reviews, and just so many options that it can be overwhelming or unclear where to spend your money. And so that's why I created this slide, so you can see the big picture of all the strategies you need to have in place for complete digital dominance in your market. Seriously, these 8 buckets are all it takes to dominate your local market and get the lion's share of the patients that need your help, if they're executed well, of course. So think of this as like a car wheel or tire. If you have most, but maybe not all of these in place, then it's like racing the Indy 500 with a flat tire. These categories are pretty much in order of importance. The big 3 there that will really move the needle are making sure your website is built to convert, your practice shows up in the top 3 listings when a person Googles for a chiropractor, and using social media to establish yourself as the local health authority. And having a content strategy, automation, and follow-up aren't any less important. They're more like a foundation that connects to each and every one of the other pieces. So those will amplify the results of everything else you do. This is one of those situations where the whole really is greater than the sum of its parts. Having all of these strategies dialed in will produce more results than adding up the results you'd get from each individual strategy. I'm glad you made the decision to join this webinar so you can make smart decisions about how you're going to grow your practice in the coming year. For the most part, chiropractic offices invest a lot of money in marketing, in websites, in SEO, in Facebook ads, in person events, which most docs don't want to return to doing. Many of you have gone through multiple marketing providers to try and get more new patient visits, and too often don't get much of a return on your investment. Hopefully you generate some patients from your website and online marketing, but if you aren't attracting enough quality patients that sign on to care, then you may not have much to show for it, and more time has passed without having the growth in your practice that you really want. So that's why it's critical that you make smart investments in your marketing that are going to grow your practice the way you want and that compound over time. So really the opportunity at hand and what we're going to do today is getting you a clear plan for 2023 that will end up producing patients today, patients tomorrow, and patients down the road. You'll need to generate enough leads to hit your goals, whether that be a certain amount in collections, patient visits, whatever way you measure that for yourself. Now is one of those few times I'll use the word leads because marketers have just ruined that term by focusing on generating leads instead of appointments, patients, or collections. I know that names on a spreadsheet or email don't pay the bills. You can't deposit clicks in the bank, but you also can't maximize your results if you don't measure them. And the number of leads generated is part of that equation. So to get the best return on your investment, you need to track and optimize how many leads you get, the cost per lead, how many appointments those turn into, the show rate for those new patients, along with how many sign on to care and the total number of visits and case value per patient. If you double the performance of just one of those factors, then you can double your practice growth. But if you double 2 of them, then you're quadrupling your ROI. And if you move the needle in several areas, then you basically slapped a turbocharger on your practice growth engine. The ideal here is to maximize your new patient flow so you hit your goals for 2023.